A pair of warthog brothers were out foraging when they were suddenly attacked by a leopard. The warthog brother was bitten by the leopard and screamed. The warthog brother tried desperately to provoke the leopard. But as soon as he rushed into the jungle, he was pounced on by the leopard. The leopard held his brother and ran straight to the warthog cave, intending to force the big warthog out. It bit the little warthog madly, and the little warthog wailed miserably, but there was still no movement in the cave. The leopard had to hide the little warthog in the tree and crouched outside the cave, waiting for the prey to appear. Sure enough, a moment later, a big warthog slowly crawled out. The leopard held its breath and concentrated, motionless. The big warthog gradually relaxed its vigilance, and suddenly, the leopard jumped up like lightning and pounced down. In a blink of an eye, the big warthog was bitten tightly and struggled desperately. The leopard dragged its trophy up the tree. Victory was in sight, and it was another sumptuous feast. The lion was completely finished this time. It was pressed to the ground by more than a dozen angry buffaloes, rubbing it madly and howling in pain. You can never imagine how miserable its end was. The lion actually locked its sights on a pair of buffalo mother and child. Facing the attack, the cow fought back desperately, but the gap in strength was too big and she was still dragged to the ground by the lion. This scene was witnessed by the buffalo leader in the jungle. He immediately summoned the buffalo army and rushed to the lion's den, vowing to tear it apart. Hundreds of buffaloes rushed in, scaring the lioness to flee everywhere, so she had to climb a tree and hide. The lion who bullied the buffalo mother and child was surrounded. But instead of admitting his mistake, it grabbed a little buffalo and tried to threaten the buffalo herd. The angry buffalo rushed up, knocked the lion down, and threw it to the ground. After a while, the scarred lion fell completely and was eventually trampled to death by the buffalo's hoof. Hyena attacks Lion King, and the ending is a shocking reversal. Not long ago, a lion picked up a rotten warthog in the jungle. The cunning hyena saw this. Although the hyena is small in size, it is very courageous. It actually followed the Lion King alone and tried to snatch the lion's prey. After the lion found out, he deliberately put down the warthog to lure the hyena. Sure enough, the hyena pounced on it, and the lion turned around and grabbed it with one claw. Just when it was about to lock the throat, an unexpected scene happened. A group of hyenas suddenly rushed up and bit the Lion King's back frantically. The Lion King was furious and picked up the hyena to intimidate the enemy group, but the hyena was not afraid and attacked from all sides, pressing step by step. The lion was outnumbered, and finally the Lion King had no choice but to let go. The hounds successfully rescued their companions. In this duel, the hyena team won. A lion cub did something crazy while eating. It stuck its head into a buffalo's butt and got stuck. At first, it looked like an accident, but it quickly became dangerous. If the lion cub couldn't get its head out, it could suffocate. The problem? A buffalo's butt isn't that big, and once the lion cub's head was stuck in it, it would have been difficult to get out. Meanwhile, the rest of the pride was either eating or napping, totally oblivious to the lion cub's life-threatening struggle. The poor little lion cub kept pulling and twisting, but it was stuck, and no one seemed to care. Even the nearby lioness just glanced at it and went back to her meal. Now, the little lion cub was completely panicking and trying to push off the buffalo's body, but it wasn't enough. It needed help. However, no one seemed to notice, not even the photographer filming nearby. As time went on, the cub's struggle slowed down, and finally it stopped moving altogether. Unfortunately, the cub couldn't escape and suffocated to death, while the pride continued to eat the buffalo. Look, a hungry little lion cub just wants a bite of meat. The male lion who was eating won't let the little lion eat and beats the cub savagely. Apparently, leaving the kids with daddy is not a good idea. The male lion doesn't have much patience with the cubs, especially when they're surrounded by a large group of cubs. When the lioness returns and finds that one of the cubs is missing, she immediately attacks the male lion. Guess what? The king of the jungle backs off, and backs off fast. You see, no matter how strong he is, he knows that he can't get food without the lioness's hunting. So after that time, he learned his lesson and stopped annoying the cubs and started protecting them. Now, the little ones are close to him and enjoy the protection he provides from other predators. But taking care of the kids every day looks tiring. Still, he has to hold back for the next meal. After 7 days of starvation, the lions finally knocked down a giant giraffe and prepared to feast on it. However, this seemingly victorious battle soon turned into a nightmare for the lions. A few hours ago, a giraffe stumbled into their territory, looking weak and almost surrendering. Seeing this, the lions attacked with brutal efficiency, and soon the giraffe fell to the ground. The lions were shocked that the giraffe fell so easily. But hunger overwhelmed all their doubts, and they began to devour this long-awaited meal, enjoying the food and the joy of victory. Then, something terrible happened. A lioness began to convulse violently and struggled uncontrollably. Another lion also began to vomit, and his physical strength quickly weakened. The lions fell one by one, and the powerful roars were replaced by weak gasps. Was the giraffe poisoned? Is the black mamba snake lurking in the giraffe a silent killer? Their greatest feast became their last supper. The little lions were playing carefree around their mother, but a naughty little guy was suddenly attracted by the antelope running in the distance. Out of curiosity, he followed quietly. But when he was tired of playing and wanted to go home, he found that the lion group was gone. He called his mother in panic, but it was not the lioness who responded to him, but a hungry leopard. The leopard is a natural hunter. Seeing the lone little lion, it picked up the prey without hesitation and quickly jumped onto the tree, ready to enjoy this unexpected meal. But it underestimated the anger of the lion group. When the lion group found that the little lion was missing, they immediately began to search frantically, and soon they set their sights on the leopard. The little lion in its mouth had no signs of life. The angry lion group broke out. The revenge action was launched instantly, and the lion group chased at full speed. The leopard tried to escape, but was eventually captured by the lion group under multi-party siege. The leopard had no luck, and no mercy. It paid the price of its life for this hunt. A pack of wild dogs attacked a lone lioness, and their combined strength proved too much for the lioness. The lioness had no chance of fighting back, and narrowly escaped death, running straight into a waterhole in a desperate attempt to escape. When the male lion discovered what had happened, he was furious. He immediately signaled for backup to get revenge. His brothers quickly responded, with a photographer following behind one of the brothers. The lion was furious and ran straight to the wild dog's den. He launched a savage attack that caught the wild dogs off guard. But the revenge didn't end there. Soon, the rest of the pride showed up and swept the area. Within minutes, the wild dog's den was filled with carcasses, but the lions weren't done yet. While hunting down the remaining wild dogs, the lion caught one and easily grabbed its throat. Meanwhile, the wild dog desperately tried to escape with its cubs, but was eventually killed. It didn't end there. 2 young male lions also joined in, and the young wild dogs that couldn't keep up were quickly killed. The lion's revenge is swift and ruthless. This is a very smart cheetah. It not only hunts the antelope, but also uses it as bait to lure more prey. Cheetahs usually do not kill the antelope immediately, but will drive it to the open road and control it with their claws while keeping an eye out for more prey. At this time, another cheetah hiding nearby will pounce and give it a fatal blow. It's not just cheetahs that do this. Leopards also use this strategy. They grab a young antelope and lure the mother antelope to come closer. In order to get the mother antelope to come closer, the leopard will repeatedly hurt the young antelope, making it scream for help. But the mother antelope will usually retreat because of fear of the leopard, which makes this trap difficult to implement. However, no matter what, the poor antelope used as bait will eventually become food for the leopard, even if it is a cub. A baboon, who is good at attacking cubs, caught a lion cub and treated it roughly as a toy, even though the cub was dying. The mother of the lion cub saw it and rushed to the scene. While other baboons fled in fear, this baboon made a wrong decision and stayed where he was. The angry lioness roared, and soon more lionesses appeared and surrounded the tree where the baboon was hiding. Some lions stayed under the tree to prevent it from escaping, while the mother of the lion cub climbed up and caught it. The baboon was terrified and trembled and clung to the top of the tree, not daring to move. The lioness was furious and climbed towards it relentlessly. The baboon realized that he could not escape and knew that his death was approaching, and his arrogant attitude disappeared. When he caught the lion cub, he had to face the wrath of the lioness. The baboon learned a lesson from painful experience not to anger the lion. A pack of hyenas tried to kill a lion cub while the lioness was away. The lion cub saw the hyenas and tried to escape by climbing a tree, but due to exhaustion, the cub fell from the tree. The hyenas immediately surrounded him, and the hyena queen jumped up and bit the lion cub. The lion cub was terrified and tried to back away, but the lioness returned and she immediately rushed in to save the lion cub. The hyenas saw the lioness return and all fled. What the hyenas didn't know was that their attack on the lion cub had angered the lions, who were now planning revenge. The next day, the lions set up an ambush on the road where the hyenas passed. When the hyena queen appeared, 2 lions pounced on her and bit her throat, and soon knocked her to the ground, howling in pain, with no chance of escape. But the lions' revenge was not over yet, and 2 more lions rushed in and killed the remaining hyenas, making them pay a heavy price for attacking the cubs.
Oh!
A lion came up to a leopard's tree and startled the leopard. The lion wanted to eat its food, but the leopard wouldn't let him. Without wasting any time, the lion jumped up the tree and quickly climbed up. The leopard began to panic. Soon, the lion found the hidden food, and the leopard watched in horror as his hard-earned meal was about to be devoured. The leopard fought back desperately, and a fierce battle broke out in the treetops. But the lion and leopard weighed more than 700 pounds together, and the branch suddenly broke. They fell to the ground, dazed but still ready to fight. The leopard tried to escape, but before it could, a lioness pounced and pinned it to the ground with raw strength. The leopard fought back hard, but ultimately failed. Then, the final blow. A lioness caught the leopard's throat with her mouth, and soon the fight was over. The Lion King arrived and praised the lioness for her skills. The lioness was happy to be recognized and gave the fallen leopard to the lion as a gift. In this way, the lions had another full meal. The wild dog couple was preparing to take their cubs to their new home, but unfortunately, 2 lions were wandering on the road. Perhaps because they were taking their children out, the wild dog couple was very vigilant and kept looking back. Seeing the lion from a distance, the wild dog couple hurriedly took the little wild dog and hid in the grass by the roadside. However, the wild dog couple suddenly became extremely anxious at this time because a little wild dog with a leg injury did not catch up in time. Sure enough, the unfortunate scene still happened. The lion soon found the little wild dog and hurried forward to control it firmly with his claws. Seeing that there were no other wild dogs around, the lion bit the little wild dog mercilessly. The fate of the little wild dog was doomed. After the wild dog family knew about this, they decided to avenge the little wild dog. The patriarch led the wild dog family to besiege the lioness and her children. This hungry leopard made a very bad decision and targeted a porcupine. Yes, you heard it right. A porcupine. A creature covered in sharp, deadly quills. This was not going to end well for the leopard. The porcupine quickly realized the danger and began to defend itself. It thrust its quills directly at the leopard. The poor leopard felt intense pain, but it had to endure it, pulling out the porcupine's quills one by one. Now, the porcupine had the upper hand, but it knew it was dangerous to stay. So it tried to make a quick escape while the leopard was distracted. But the leopard didn't give up. He struck quickly and attacked the porcupine from the side, breaking through its defenses. The porcupine was defenseless, and the leopard dodged it, grabbed it in his mouth, and ran straight to the safety of the tree. Why? Because if he didn't, those hungry wild dogs would swoop in and steal his hard-earned meal. In the tree, the leopard slowly began to enjoy his victory meal. A lioness attacks a leopard. He quickly climbs a tree for safety and looks down at the lioness, who demands that he give up his food. But the leopard refuses. Just then, a male lion approaches, glares at the leopard, and commands, "Hand over the food, or I'll go up and eat you." The leopard retorts, "Eft, I'm not afraid of you. Come up and try." The lion is frustrated. He's not good at climbing trees, but he's determined to prove himself. The lioness starts to climb up, and the leopard quickly drops the food to the ground. Furious at having lost her prize, the lioness attacks the leopard violently. The leopard fights back desperately to survive, and the two fight in the tree. But then, disaster strikes the branch they're fighting on breaks, and both the leopard and the lioness fall to the ground. The leopard was so agile that it immediately stood up and rushed away. The lioness was stunned and furious, and could only mutter, "That sneaky leopard ran too fast."
It's the second I get a... Oh. Ow.
Shut up.
Like, are you serious? Hello? No! No!
You're scaring me.
Make the right choice, okay? Hey, hey, hey. Turns one. Oh, ow.
Don't! Oh! Oh! You're about to bite me. Ow! Good morning, Snowball.
Ow.
Stop. You. Не надо. Ах ты. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh no!
Whoa.
Oh. Uy. Hey, hey. Not yet. Roger.
Can you stay there? Oh, oh. Okay.
Come here, baby. You're so good.
What? Oh, get up.
A lion couple sets their sights on a lone warthog. Little does it know, it will witness a dramatic showdown before it dies. The lioness is tasked with bringing down the warthog quickly and enjoying a hearty feast. But the lion, well, it has other ideas. They say women who cook often get distracted, and the same is true in the animal world. While the lioness is focused on her task, the warthog sees an opportunity the male lion hasn't made his move yet. As long as the lion is distracted, the warthog knows that its chance to escape still exists. The lioness has a firm grip on his neck, but the warthog isn't done with the fight. His last hope? That the lion will intervene. She's been holding on for a while, but the warthog is still breathing. The lioness is frustrated. She's done all the hard work, just needs the lion to finish the job so they can feast. But the lion? He's more interested in other distractions. After several failed attempts, the lions finally realize if they want to eat, they'll have to tackle the warthog together. Only then does the lion jump in to help the lioness finish what they started.
You handsome? A mountain lion got into big trouble while hunting. It accidentally stepped in the hunter's trap, and its front legs were deeply stuck. Fortunately, a kind man happened to pass by and noticed the struggling animal. Determined to help it, the man tried to control the lion's head with a rope to avoid being bitten. The mountain lion screamed desperately in pain, shook its head and struggled, resisting the man's help, but the man finally subdued it. Pressing the mountain lion firmly to the ground, the lion lay on the ground and let out a weak roar. The man stepped carefully on the trap and tried to pry it open. but the trap was too strong. After struggling for a while, the man adjusted his position and gently opened the trap. The mountain lion that finally broke free did not run away immediately. It sat there, staring at the man, as if thanking him for saving its life, and then ran back into the woods. Disappeared in the jungle. The lion fell from the tree and broke his leg. You'd never guess what happened next. When the lion found himself in danger, the leopard had no interest in revenge. He knew better than to mess with the lion, so he decided to sit on a rock and watch the drama unfold. In the tree, the lion had a chance to get up, but the tempting smell of food distracted him. He grabbed a leg of lamb with his left paw and thought he had succeeded. But as he ate, he completely forgot that he was still hanging in midair. When he finally released his left paw, the fall was inevitable. As the lion fell, he instinctively grabbed the tree trunk with his right paw, but it was too late. He fell heavily to the ground. The leopard watched the lion's fate from behind and laughed happily. The lion with a broken leg limped away, found a comfortable place to recover his strength, and then walked slowly back home, obviously regretting letting hunger blind his eyes. A leopard watched a lioness kill her cub. He was furious. From that moment on, he vowed to make the lioness pay with blood. Devastated, the leopard rushed home and vented his anger on his mate, tearing her to pieces in a rage. But that wasn't enough. He wanted revenge. While the lioness was away, the leopard snuck into her territory and stole the body of his cub. When the lioness returned, she didn't chase him. She just stared at him, with sadness burning in her eyes. The leopard dragged the cub up a tree and locked eyes with the lioness below. For a moment, they seemed ready to tear each other apart. Days later, after tracking the lioness relentlessly, the leopard finally found the lioness's cub. Under the cover of darkness, he struck, killing the little lion without mercy. The next morning, the lioness discovered the cruel scene. Her eyes were filled with anger and heartbreak. But then, shockingly, she did the unthinkable. She began to eat her own cubs. Why? Out of grief? To survive? Or was it just a cruel, twisted version of justice in the wild? A pack of wild dogs surrounded a buffalo calf, their sharp teeth biting its waist. The calf cried out in despair, but the herd was too far away to help. The calf was terrified and struggled to break free, but the wild dog's fangs held on to the calf tightly and refused to let go. Just when the situation seemed hopeless, a powerful roar echoed across the plain. A group of lions were attracted by the commotion. The wild dogs were stunned for a moment, then scattered. But the lions were not there to rescue the calf, but to steal the spoils. The male lion walked while staring at the wild dogs, and the wild dogs scattered as they saw the lion coming. Not daring to go up, the leading lion rushed over and knocked all the wild dogs away. The wild dogs surrounded the lion and dared not move forward, so they had to retreat. The calf finally fell into the mouths of the lions, and the wild dogs were panting, discouraged, and returned empty-handed. A leopard had just made a terrible mistake, and it was about to pay the price. A group of baboons were attacking him fiercely, determined to make him pay for what he had done. The reason? He had killed a baby baboon. It all started when the baboon family was out foraging for food. The father climbed up a tree, and the leopard saw his chance. He quietly snatched a baby baboon. When the baboon family realized what was happening, they were furious. The chase began. More baboons joined in, surrounded the leopard, surrounding him everywhere. Finally, the leopard had no choice but to abandon the lifeless baby baboon. Enraged by this loss, the baboons swarmed around the leopard as he lay helpless on the road. They attacked him mercilessly, hitting and kicking him without mercy. And that wasn't the end. More baboons kept appearing, adding to the chaos. It was clear the leopard was not going to survive. When the Lion King went out to patrol the territory, the second male lion saw the opportunity and wanted to take the lead and monopolize a lioness in heat. Just when he was getting carried away, the Lion King suddenly came back. Seeing this scene, the Lion King was completely angry and rushed to the second male lion without hesitation. At this moment, brotherhood, all forgotten. In the rules of the lion group, cooperation is allowed, but in front of the lioness, never give in. The lioness is happy to see it happen. She will only choose the strongest male lion to reproduce. But to the surprise of all the lion group members, in this fierce contest, the Lion King with darker mane gradually fell behind and was suppressed by the second male lion and retreated step by step. In the end, the winner was decided, and the lioness shook her head and elegantly welcomed the new king. And the former Lion King could only leave in embarrassment. This was truly unlucky. While running at full speed, this majestic horse accidentally stepped into a mud pit and got stuck. Thankfully, the smart dog alerted the owner, who immediately called for an excavator. The operator dug a hole to try and drain the mud, hoping the horse could walk out on its own. But suddenly, the owner noticed something was wrong. The horse was sinking deeper. Realizing the danger, the owner quickly used a rope to secure the horse's neck and had the vehicle pull it to prevent further sinking. But getting the horse out would take serious effort. This horse weighed over 2,000 pounds. The excavator operator dug a slope on the bank, and the owner used the vehicle to pull the horse up. But the horse, in intense pain, started to struggle. Normally, the horse would have been able to stand, but it seemed like it had broken a leg and couldn't move. But the owner didn't give up. After more effort, the horse was finally pulled to safety. Thankfully, its leg wasn't badly injured otherwise. The owner would have faced a major financial loss. Two male lions lie side by side in the grass, soaking up the sun. All seems calm, no roaring or posturing, just the tranquility of the wild. But beneath this calm exterior, tensions are building. Soon, a fierce battle will break out between these two powerful beasts. Why? Because these lions are not just sharing space, they are rivals, vying for prime territory. Mating season is about to begin, and both want to dominate the pride and gain access to the lionesses. In the wild, silence often masks the most intense conflicts. Despite their calm demeanor, these lions are acutely aware of each other's presence. Challenges will not begin with direct attacks, but through subtle movements, each lion testing the other's strength and patience. Soon, the tranquility will be broken and a brutal battle for supremacy will unfold. The winner will gain the right to rule the pride, because in the world of lions, strength is everything. Only one lion can prevail. Hyenas are very cruel. They managed to kill and eat the lioness when she was alone. Lions and hyenas have been fierce rivals for years, especially when it comes to food. The two species often clash over territory and food, with both sides willing to eliminate the other at all costs. Lions dominate in most situations, but hyenas are the only animals on the African savannah that dare challenge lions, and they are no pushovers. They are good at teamwork, and when there are enough of them, they will not hesitate to confront a male lion and even kill it if necessary. Hyenas are known for their cunning tactics, specifically targeting weaker opponents, such as lone lioness or wandering male lions. Although lionesses may be fierce, they have little chance against a hyena pack. Outnumbered, they often end up defeated or killed. Today, a group of hyenas saw their opportunity and successfully captured a lioness and devoured her whole. A curious leopard spotted a civet it had never seen before. Intrigued, it silently trailed the civet, ready to pounce at any moment. However, unsure of the civet's strength, the leopard held back, observing from a distance. The civet wandered into tall grass, completely unaware of the predator behind it. The leopard crept closer, moving with calculated precision, hoping to catch the civet off guard. Just as the leopard prepared to strike, the civet suddenly froze. It seemed to sense danger. Cautiously, the civet stepped out of the grass, scanning the area. Incredibly, it walked right past the leopard completely unfazed. The leopard, now just feet away, remained still. For some reason, it didn't attack. Maybe it doubted its ability to overpower the civet, or perhaps it simply wasn't willing to risk a fight it might not win. Instead, the leopard stayed put, watching as the civet strolled away, its mouth watering at the missed opportunity. A pregnant antelope is caught by a cheetah. The cheetah chokes its prey by clamping its teeth around its throat. Exhausted from the chase, the cheetah falls to the ground, gasping for air. After catching its breath, it stands up and tries to drag the antelope away, but suddenly freezes. Sensing danger, the cheetah drops the antelope and glances around, worried about nearby hounds. Seeing no hounds, it carefully picks up the antelope again and continues on its way. However, the antelope's size makes it nearly impossible to lift. After only a few steps, the cheetah collapses, gasping for air. Realizing that it can't drag the antelope far, the cheetah decides to eat it right there. It tears into its fresh kill, greedily devouring chunks of meat. But just as it's enjoying its meal, a hyena appears fearless and determined. Without hesitation, the cheetah grabs the antelope and runs off, desperate to protect its hard-earned meal. The hyena returned empty-handed and watched the cheetah disappear in the distance. 3 antelopes found themselves cornered by a pack of wild dogs with no escape. Their only option? Climb onto a steep cliff, hoping the predators couldn't reach them. The dogs circled below, snapping and jumping, but the cliff was so sheer that one wrong step could send them tumbling. Desperate, the dogs kept lunging, trying to scare the antelopes into moving. But the antelopes stayed perfectly still, clinging to their rocky refuge. One daring dog inched closer, carefully scaling the edge. For a moment, it seemed like the antelopes were doomed. But with a quick step back, they stayed just out of reach. Frustrated, most of the dogs eventually gave up and left. Only one stubborn dog refused to quit. It made several determined attempts, but the antelopes remained unshaken. Realizing it was a lost cause, the final dog reluctantly retreated, leaving the antelopes safe and victorious on their rocky perch. A leopard had just made a terrible mistake, and it was about to pay the price. A group of baboons were attacking him fiercely, determined to make him pay for what he had done. The reason? He had killed a baby baboon. It all started when the baboon family was out foraging for food. The father climbed up a tree, and the leopard saw his chance. He quietly snatched a baby baboon. When the baboon family realized what was happening, they were furious. The chase began. More baboons joined in, surrounded the leopard, surrounding him everywhere. Finally, the leopard had no choice but to abandon the lifeless baby baboon. Enraged by this loss, the baboons swarmed around the leopard as he lay helpless on the road. They attacked him mercilessly, hitting and kicking him without mercy. And that wasn't the end. More baboons kept appearing, adding to the chaos. It was clear the leopard was not going to survive. In the picture, several lionesses are enjoying their prey, while hyenas are watching them from the side. They have to wait until the lions are full before they can get a share. At first, the hyenas were quite restrained. After all, this world is not about fighting and killing, but about human relationships. But as time went on, the hyenas became restless. They dared not touch the lionesses, but they were also a little impatient. The Hound Queen finally couldn't bear it anymore and issued an ultimatum. If they don't give up their position, don't blame them for being rude. However, the lioness simply ignored it. I can't bear it anymore, and I don't have to bear it anymore. The hyenas pounced on them, and the situation got out of control in an instant. The lionesses fought hard, but the hounds had the upper hand, and the scene was in chaos. At this critical moment, the camera turned. The adult male lion came with the pace of the king. The hyenas instantly quieted down, and the air solidified. The lion roared and ran straight to the queen hounds. They screamed and fled everywhere, and the scene was in a mess. Eventually, the lion had a firm hold on its prey, and the hyenas could only retreat, cursing. A hyena bit off the head of a lioness and took it back to its den, not expecting that this action would bring disaster to the entire group. Earlier, the hyena group launched a fierce attack, and the lone lioness was unable to fight back. She was eventually killed and devoured. One of the hyenas took the lioness's head back to the den. This action quickly aroused the anger of the Lion King. When he and the lion group discovered this horrific scene, they immediately gathered their troops and rushed to the hyena group. The Lion King bit the hyena queen with a fatal blow that silenced her forever. Seeing their leader being captured, the hyena group fell into chaos, and most of them quickly fled. But 2 alert male lions had already foreseen this moment and quickly intercepted the fleeing hyenas and dealt with them one by one. One of the male lions caught up with the fleeing hyena and bit its throat in almost 2 seconds, ensuring that it would never dare to challenge the lion group again. The hyena group was completely defeated and never dared to provoke the lions again. After a 7-day hunger strike, a group of lions effortlessly killed a huge giraffe and enjoyed a long-awaited feast. But what should have been a victorious battle quickly turned into a nightmare. Just a few hours ago, a weak giraffe broke into their territory and could barely stand up. Was it looking for death? The lions wasted no time and attacked the giraffe. Amazingly, the giraffe did not try to escape or fight back, it just fell down in a few seconds, as if surrendering to its fate. At first, the lions were triumphant and ate their food with big mouthfuls. But a few hours later, everything went wrong. One lioness began to convulse uncontrollably, another began to vomit, and their strength quickly weakened. In less than half a day, several lions fell, and the hunters were left vulnerable and helpless. What went wrong? Was the giraffe poisoned by the venomous black mamba snake? What was supposed to be a hard-earned feast turned into a silent and deadly trap, turning their victory into a catastrophic tragedy. The Lion King had just returned to find the hyenas had attacked his wife. Furious beyond measure, he stormed straight to their den, seething with the rage of a man who just lost everything. One unlucky hyena never saw him coming. Before it could react, the Lion King grabbed it by the throat and shook it violently. The hyena's agonized screams echoed through the savannah, but the more it cried, the harder the Lion King bit down. Just moments earlier, the hyenas had ambushed his lioness, overpowering her with sheer numbers and strength. Desperate to protect herself, she collapsed, trying to shield her vulnerable body, but it was too late. The hyenas were merciless, severing her lower half in a brutal attack. Now, back with a vengeance, the Lion King made sure the hyena paid for its role in his wife's suffering. After the creature's life was extinguished, he discarded its lifeless body like trash, already hunting for the next target. This baboon had the audacity to snatch a cub right in front of the lioness, without fear. Worse still, it devoured the cub while the helpless lioness could only watch in despair. Unbeknownst to it, revenge was about to come. The lioness's grief quickly turned to rage. She rushed back to the pride, rallying every lion to exact revenge. Not only on the cub's kidnapper, but on the entire baboon troop. The baboon's nightmare was about to begin. Within half an hour, the pride had quietly entered the baboon's territory. A lookout spotted them and sounded the alarm. The baboons scattered and panic spread, but it was too late. The lions scattered, terrorizing every baboon within a 10-mile radius. They quickly followed the scent trail of the baboon who had taken the cub. Soon, they had trapped the killer in a tree. Now, the lioness was focused and full of revenge, ready to end the nightmare that had begun with the tragic loss of her cub. The 4WD was turned into a pathetic 2WD. What on earth had he done to make the Lion King so angry? The answer was in what had happened the night before. The hyenas were out for a walk when they came across a lone lioness. They surrounded the lioness. The lioness was forced to retreat into the woods to escape, but the hyenas chased her and bit her heel. The next day, the Lion King saw his partner's pain. Furious, he found the hyena and launched a fierce attack, biting her hind legs so hard that her 4WD was turned into a helpless 2WD. But the punishment was not over. The Lion King relentlessly pursued the hyenas, making sure they all understood the consequences of messing with his wife. Even though the hyena could no longer use its hind legs, it stubbornly moved forward with its front legs in an attempt to escape. The Lion King followed closely behind it, pushing it down every time it tried to move. The hyena begged for mercy and promised not to harass the lioness again, but the Lion King was not buying it. Hyenas never keep their promises. The lion found an abandoned baby honey badger in the middle of the road, which seemed like an easy meal. But what happened next shocked everyone. The mother honey badger had no choice but to abandon her baby and flee in fear of the lion's approach. The lion was confused and sniffed the baby badger, wondering why it was abandoned. Although the badger was small, too small to be a good meal, the lion thought it might be a trap and nuzzled the badger, ready to bite, but then hesitated. After a few licks, it still didn't dare to hurt the little animal. Instead, it gently pushed the badger with its paw, urging it to move. Unable to run or defend itself, the badger could only curl up and remain motionless. For a moment, it doubted whether the little animal was its own cub. After several attempts to provoke the badger, the lion finally decided to gently hold the little animal in his mouth, not as prey, but to place it safely in a nearby bush. The lion seemed to show compassion and spared the life of the vulnerable honey badger.